killing task team members, including Lieutenant Colonel Khumalo, these are the team that are investigating, going, kicking the doors. There are so many cases opened. They went to Fort Hare University and they took money from accused number 1 at Fort Hare University. That matter is investigated by the DPCI. There is evidence, they don't deny, but nothing is happening. Why some of the people are above the law? They can do as they please. Nobody takes action because they are protected. We need to know how many cases were opened against these political killing task team members. They are there. No action is being taken because there are some powerful individuals that cannot be questioned. It's wrong. The country shouldn't allow this. They are here, they are operating, but yet they are suspects. No.
Can I ask whether, or what your thoughts are on whether Lieutenant General Khumalo can be your head of crime intelligence and serve as the head or the leader of the political killings task team?
It is very wrong.
Why is it wrong?
You cannot start from you being a brigadier at a lower level, Major General, Lieutenant General. You are still in charge of the political killing task team. The function of crime intelligence is to gather, collect, collate, analyze, and support the investigative capacities. You are crime intelligence. This country is suffering already in terms of intelligence. There's no intelligence in this country. Yes, they are doing a good job on the ground to a certain extent, but we are sitting with, tell me, who are the people that are killing the children in Hanover Park, Eldorado Park, the kingpins, the people that are behind? Where are the suppliers of the drugs, all the firearms, the proliferation of firearms? Who is behind the cash in transit? Where do they cook these drugs? The clandestine laboratories. We've got a number of criminal activities that are taking place. The hitmen that are all over from KZN, that are being supplied by KZN into the country as a whole. Let us be able to contain the situation. Crime intelligence needs to be able to tell us who's behind the touching of the trucks. Where are the people? So that we don't have a repeat of all this. So counterintelligence is struggling as we speak. And there's so much that they can still do, yet its leader is busy running around also conducting investigations. It's wrong. If you are in intelligence, be in intelligence, don't be seen anywhere, and focus on intelligence.
Senior Counsel, before you continue, I must take some notes here. General, you mentioned names of your colleagues who you say they went to collect money from a suspect.
Yes, they did. Hotel
in Fort Hare.
In Fort Hare, accused number 1, hotels were paid for them. They were bought clothes. They were rented vehicles, and the money was deposited into their bank account. I'm saying something that exists, that is there.
And who did you say are those colleagues of yours?
PKTT members. And I listened to when Judge Nhlanhla was asking the national...
I don't want you to elaborate. It's just a clarity seeking. So in my record, I must just say PKTT members.
Yes, I can mention names if there's a need, but in this case, I'm quite sure about what I'm talking about. These are the same members who went and kicked the doors at forensic and seized the laptop. These are not trained detectives.
How many are those members? Because it's like you are reluctant to give. How many are those members that you implicate in this bribery?
I have statements, I have reports, but they may be between 6 and 10.
Okay. And then the last, did I hear you properly when you say there is no crime intelligence in this country?
There is, but it can do better.
No. Just to check if I properly captured that statement. Did you say there is no crime intelligence in this country which will be knowing who is committing these criminal activities, the hitmen, this and that?
Chair, many of the operations that we see happening, like your crash in transit, they are there. They give information, but there's still a lot that can improve or where we are not winning the fight at all. And that is where I believe that crime intelligence should actually, that is why there was a meeting where the minister at some point wanted to know who is behind the drugs, the drug lord, the drug cartels, who is behind the proliferation of firearms, who is killing people in these gang-infested areas, in all these areas. We need that kind of intelligence. Who are the kingpins behind the extortions?
So you, essentially, even if you may not repeat that statement, you are just saying that where you stand, you are unhappy with the progress that is being made.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. I think I just wanted to understand that, but I see there are two honorable members who have, or three. It will be Honorable Skosana, Honorable James, Honorable Nhlanhla, in that order.
Thank you, Chair, once again. I think the clarity is not yet clear from the General, because what I've noted as well is that the General said there's no crime intelligence in this country. Now, I just want to capture, because I don't want to, when we start tomorrow, then it's like we are misleading the witness on the day. So this clarity, it doesn't come up clean, General. I think when you said there's no crime intelligence, do you really mean that there's no crime intelligence in the country, or something else? Because what you said on record is that in this country there's no crime intelligence. I thank you, Chair.
Look, Chair, literally speaking, I don't say there is no crime intelligence. They don't exist. They exist, but there has been instances even where General Mkhwanazi himself is saying that in case that then there's no crime intelligence really that is giving satisfactory performance there, because you have a lot that is going on. There were instances where you find that there is cash in transit, sometimes 2, 3, 4 times in a day, even in the Eastern Cape. Yes, now we say we need crime intelligence that will immediately after crime is being committed, that day, that week, we need to already know who's involved. This is the crime intelligence that we are looking for, that is proactive. Many a times that will know things before they happen sometimes, because they've got informers on the ground, they will know what is going on. I don't necessarily mean that there is no crime intelligence. And if this is what it meant or how it was understood, Chair, let me withdraw it now at this point in time.
What are you withdrawing, General?
The statement that says there's no crime intelligence, because I wasn't meaning literally speaking that there's no crime intelligence.
But the one that you said that you are not happy with the progress that crime intelligence is making, you stand by it?
I stand by it.
Okay, thank you so much. Honorable James.
Thank you so much, Chair. When General Sibiya spoke, he didn't mince his words. He was clear. He even qualified his statement. He qualified his statement. When General Mkhwanazi spoke, when General Masemola spoke, they all said the same thing. When we questioned General Masemola and the crime detection, which spoke to crime intelligence in this country, he said there's actually no, it doesn't exist. He did say that. All three of them said exactly the same thing. Yes, there's a unit called crime intelligence, but how effective is that unit? So he has withdrawn his statement now. So I'm not sure if this is even worth going into. But all three generals came here and they qualified and they spoke about exactly the same thing you're speaking about. And when General, when we have operations, that's the one thing we lack, is intelligence. So let's be truthful here. Thank you.
So, Honorable James, you want him to restate?
I don't know what to say because he withdrew.
He says, where I stand, I'm not happy with the progress that crime intelligence is.
I don't know what to say, Chair, because he said there's no crime intelligence. But he qualified it by making examples, which I agree to. And I also reflected on the statements made by General Mkhwanazi as well as Masemola. But then he went and he withdrew it. So my input was based on what he said.
Okay.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Honorable Sol, is your hand up?
Yes, sir.
Okay, can I check who else want to speak so that we take the honorable members and we hand over to the senior counsel? So if your hand is up, Honorable Sol,
No,
it will be Honorable Nhlanhla and then yourself. So those are the last hands of members that I'm taking. And it's now 21:52. So at some point around 10 o'clock, we should be starting to prepare ourselves for the fifth round.
No, thanks, Chair. Let's take it as withdrawn, the statement. It's fine. The second thing, Chair, which I think emanates from your first question. We are running an inquisitorial process here. And we are due to make an analysis of whether or not there's a necessity for us to do a second batch of witnesses. And at the center of the terms of reference of the Ad Hoc Committee is interference in the police service. Now, I don't think we should take the evidence of they and them as it is. General Sibiya must tell us who went to Forte by name, who went to Forte to solicit money or bribes or however you term it. From who is this accused number one? We may not be familiar about the details of the case. How much was solicited? I think we need that detail to be registered and recorded. Thanks.
Do you want him to say it now or can he submit to?
He can submit, Chair.
Okay.
We can submit, it's fine.
Either way, General Sibiya, if you feel you may want to write that list, you said about 6 to 10. So the understanding is that 6 is the minimum number of names we can get. So if at some point during the proceedings, you feel like you may want to list the names, you can just say, Chair, I think I want to give you the names. Or if you want to submit a list, you will indicate and say, no, we will send you that list. Whatever way is comfortable, gives you comfort. I think we were fine. Honorable Sols.
No, Chair, I just wanted to say that not all of us understood the general to say that there's no crime intelligence. My interpretation of what the general was saying was that it can do better. Because how the question came about, SC asked the general, does he think it's a good idea for General Khumalo to be the head of PKTT and crime intelligence? He then responded and said, no, it's not a good idea. Why? Because his focus is split. And as a result of the split focus, crime intelligence as a division is suffering. That's how I understood it. So I just wanted to state for the record, not all of us interpreted it in that gesture.
So is that what you said, General Sibiya, that we are not convinced that it's ideal for General Khumalo to be head of crime intelligence?
It's very wrong to have his feet both in the investigation and in intelligence. He cannot be. If you are it's the first time also it happens like that. All the previous intelligence heads have never been running investigations and also running intelligence. You conduct investigation and not only focusing on political killing. You choose cases that you want to focus on. You want to go to Forte, you go take. Forte is not a PKTT. There are other cases, then they bring in traditional leaders cases, but in other areas in the country, they don't go. I just read about the one in Mpumalanga. Many cases of political killing testing, they are not involved. I can still mention the one of IFP who was killed 2-3 months ago. The IFP council, it was, I think, member of parliament was killed, but
yeah, I think what the member wants to understand, when you say it's not ideal, and now you emphasize it that it's very wrong. Are you saying it in terms of his abilities or in terms of division of labor? Because at some point you said, I think you made a statement like he was somebody's driver.
no.
And that he knows nothing about investigation. So if we can just understand that proper, when you say it's very wrong to have him as head of intelligence, is it wrong because of his abilities? Is there a mismatch? Or is it wrong because the focus must be on one field and it's like there is a combination?
First, let's get it right, Chair. When you talk about the driver, there is a Lieutenant Colonel Khumalo.
Oh, okay.
And there is Major General Khumalo who's in Gauteng. There is Divisional Commissioner Khumalo, who's the Divisional Commissioner of Crime Intelligence. So I say, if you are the head of intelligence, that's the position that you must take serious. You're carrying the country's intelligence. Your line of approach, your line of work and operations is to focus on intelligence work and support the country on intelligence work. But let the investigators investigate. Let us intelligence people gather, collect, and collate and supply. That is the difference. Chair, I do have information in relation to the corruption at the University of Port Harcourt, but I'm not so sure whether this is something that I can just hint without reading the names, unless I'm forced to by the council, by this house. I will do that, but I do have.
Look, I can check with you. Is there anything that prevents you from listing the names?
You see, council,
or is it possible for you to submit the list?
I think it's best to submit it. It's better when we submit it rather than really trying to create drama like some are doing. I don't think it's necessary to be mentioning people's name like this.
Okay. Honorable Skosana.
Yeah, I think, Chair, as he said, General said that there's between 6 and almost 10 members. And on the submission here, we have 4. There's names, there's 4 here. On page 176 and 177. The names are already there. I'm not going to say much. I think tomorrow we will get to it. But explosive, I must say. Thank you.
No. You know, honorable members, you remember in one of our proceedings, we said that when we speak, we must not inject fear in each other. No, Honorable Skosana, you know, when you say no tomorrow, but explosive. I don't think that that is the right way to use. Yeah. Okay, Honorable Nhlanhla.
No, Chair, I was going to do a follow-up on the proposal I made. I think in the index core bundle, there is the names, as Honorable Skhosana is saying, in page 177. Therefore, of course, with some Sergeant Mkhwanazi who received a polo neck and a coat. Thank you, Chair.
But why do you have to do that, Honorable Nhlanhla? Senior counsel, when we broke earlier, I said we should come back at 8. And so we came back at 20:10. So now it's 22 hours. We are going to break at 10 minutes after 22 hours. So you have 10 minutes now to do that which was left, and then we will break and come back. We are not breaking now, Skhosana. The senior counsel is finishing the 10 minutes of the time allocated to him.
Can I finish up, Honorable Chair?
I don't know, when you say you finish up, you mean you can run to the end, or you...
I can run to the end without having to take
without having to break.
It's not.
Oh, okay.
General Sibiya, is there factions, or are there factions, or is there factionalism in the police, in SAPS?
That's a most difficult question. But looking at how things are at this point in time, I'm sure the whole country has watched how the National Commissioner, together with General Khumalo and General Mkhwanazi, have been carrying on. You can see that General Masemola, basically, General Khumalo and other team members were arrested by IDEC. I didn't know the reason why they were arrested. I was not even part of the whole thing. But I know that angered General Mkhwanazi and General Masemola to an extent that they reacted to this arrest. And unfortunately, the newspaper article came. Unfortunately, the newspaper article then suggested that the National Commissioner will be arrested next week. And as a result, the next thing what happened, for the whole week, he was not actually that much active because we could not see him. We were the one attending the meetings. And I heard General Mkhwanazi last week here in this committee saying the National Commissioner was at the doorstep of being arrested. And that's why they did what they did. So which confirmed the fact that that was a preemptive strike. But what I want to say is that is there a faction? It is for this committee to decide. But what I want to put on the table then is that let's take for an example. There is these members of crime intelligence who were arrested. The National Commissioner appoints General Patekile in the Western Cape to conduct an investigation. Then I get suspended. The National Commissioner appoints Patekile to investigate. I get suspended on issues related to issues that affect General Khumalo. He appoints the same General Patekile to investigate. The National Commissioner, there is an investigation that is being conducted apparently where from the Public Service Commission, they're investigating the appointment of Major General Sibiya, who is in the office of the National Commissioner. The National Commissioner still appoint, I'm told, is same General Sibiya, who clears this investigation of General Sibiya, saying that the National Commissioner can appoint whoever he wants to appoint and that they must condone. I don't have that report, I'm not sure. The National Commissioner, after Khumalos were arrested, he clears them within 2 weeks, their investigation is clear. There is an investigation that is running by IPIT that involves one of the Lieutenant Generals, the Deputy National Commissioner at IPIT. I'm also told that this investigation, the internal investigation, has quickly been completed and cleared. I know IPIT is still running, but internally they are cleared. In my case, I was not under investigation by any institution, and other than the investigation that they themselves, like your Khumalo and General Mkhwanazi, and they are running after me about. So I'm just saying, looking at the unfair way in which this whole thing is being handled, one can actually come to a conclusion that there are those that are very close to the heart of the National Commissioner, and there are those that he wants to see out of the police. I know where I'm sitting, what I'm now, as we speak, I'm facing 4 parallel processes. 4. At this point in time, I'm supposed to focus on the Nhlanhla and the Ad Hoc. And as I'm trying to focus on these 2, I'm expected to watch the proceedings and record so that I can also go and put a report together so that I can also represent myself there. Then I was then suspended and charged departmentally. Now I must go then to the other labor lawyers to deal with this thing when I'm dealing with these ones that are assisting with Nhlanhla. Then as I'm still looking at that, then I get criminally chased on again. So now I must now look for the lawyer for the criminal, because each and every environment that has got in its own expertise. Now I'm facing with 4 processes. I haven't been sleeping. I have to, during the day, attend to the unions. I have to attend to that lawyers. I have to, at night, I must listen to what, who said what about me. So it hasn't been an easy process. Now, before I left, before the National Commissioner suspended me, after the arrest of General Khumalo, he calls me. He makes me to sign the approval for the finance support for General Khumalo and the team that was arrested. In my case, we are applied. To date, we haven't had anything. And you do get lawyers who says, no, I can't spend so much time and I have nothing, I'm not being paid. Tomorrow they ask you a question, but who's financing your legal battles? And they are not approving it as well. What must I do? And it was clear that you go to the Ad Hoc, you go to the Nhlanhla or criminal, you are entitled to be covered, but I'm not. So I'm just saying, these are the things that makes me believe that all animals are equal, but others are more equal than others.
What is this? Does this manifest a differences with you, a dislike of you, or even victimization, or does this manifest that there are factions within SAPS?
All of those.
All of those.
Yes. I feel that in my case, remember I came back as a result of the court order, the labor court that says go back to your work. And many heard General Mkhwanazi saying, I don't know why this man came back. I don't know why the organization allowed him back. I don't know why your colleague would say that, because I joined the police at a very young age when I was 20 years old. Today I'm 57 years old. I've been working very hard for this organization, and he knows that how we were released is because of my involvement in the investigation of Richard Moodle. I'm the one who arrested Richard Moodle, not him. I worked with Minister Begitele, former Minister Begitele. I reported to him at that time, and General Dramat and Petros. And then General Mkhwanazi was just there for a few months and then also removed, and then Minister Riapiaga. I am the one who was involved there. Now, when we were released or removed, all of us, because of the rendition matter, where I was not involved, that's why the court said, this can't be, because this man you can see was not there. The same applies to this thing of this disbandment. I cannot for the life of me, where I'm sitting, imagine that an instruction, a lawful instruction comes from the minister to the national commissioner, from the national commissioner to me. And a deputy national commissioner must lose his job because of that. And then they bring other stories to muddy the whole thing and say, no, it's because of the cartels. We didn't know what we now know. They are not connected, this thing. Just tell me what was my role in those cartels that we're talking about. Where I'm sitting, I have a document that was produced by Crime Intelligence. When the minister said, I want to know who's supplying firearms. Where do these firearms coming from? Why are we not able to arrest these people that are supplying the firearms? And who's supplying drugs? Where do they manufacture drugs? Do we know who are the kingpins? Do we know where the clandestine laboratories are? Why are you not arresting them? The presentation was presented by Crime Intelligence. We have those presentations. The big five that is being spoken about is not there. And if it is indeed true, it is there, it exists, why are they not being arrested? For drugs or for whatever reasons it may be. But personally, I'm not involved in the big five. I don't know the big five. So I'm just saying, you ask a simple question, are there cartels or are there factionalism in the South African Police Service? I'm tempted to say yes, but I think it's better left to this committee to look at what is happening after our presentation and decide on that thing.
Well, you said at paragraph 110 of your statement on page 34, I do not believe that SAPS is playing factionalism.
Why did I say? Which one? Which paragraph?
At paragraph 110 on page 34.
That's exactly what I said.
That's what you said?
Yes, I said I do not believe that SAPS is plagued with factionalism. However, I will make oral submission when I appear in front of the committee on some observations.
Yeah, so you've spoken about...
Those observations are the ones that I was talking about now.
Yes,
yes.
Khumalo, and then you related, it's all in paragraphs from 108 through to paragraph 115. You describe your relationship with Lt Gen Mkhwanazi, with Khumalo, and then with the National Commissioner.
Logically speaking, Chair, if you are the accounting officer of an organization and a senior member is charged in terms of the MFFA or PFMA, you are expected to act, and especially if it involves finances, you are expected to act. There's no way that the person is criminally charged by a department such as IDEC, and you don't act. You just keep the person, you even bring the person to work in your office. You're defying logic there. There's no way that a person who's been charged by the criminal court of law, charged for corruption or for whatever they've been charged for, you can't keep the person. You must say to the person, now that you've been charged, we suggest that maybe perhaps you should go stay at home and then clear your name and then come back. Not to quickly, within 2 weeks, even conduct an investigation that clears them, and then they continue to run as normal as possible, yet they are facing criminal cases. In my case, everybody, you are making it clear to the whole world that you are pushing me out. You want to see me out. And you are even embarrassing me. You send him, I'm the Deputy National Commissioner, you send in the special task force, junior members that I've been working with to come and harass me at my house. It's not fair. Let me not say too much, Chair.
Yeah, sometimes you shouldn't. Can I just ask you lastly, do you know any of the deputy ministers?
Yes, I know them.
Both?
Both of them.
Deputy Minister Matale and Dr. Boshelo?
Yes.
You probably know Deputy Minister, but Matale better because he was the deputy also to former Minister Cele.
Yes, but I know them equally the same because it's not like I meet them every day.
What is your relationship with them?
No relationship whatsoever. It's a professional relationship. They are the deputy ministers of the organization.
Have you ever exchanged WhatsApps with either of them?
I have exchanged many WhatsApp messages with all of them. And but that what was spoken about the last time that involved I forgot the name. Please remind me if you have it because I know where you are going, Council. Let me put it this way. That is not my language to call someone a Keda Makubela or something like that. Can we read it? But that message, unless it's a message that was sent to me by somebody and I forward to the either Inspector General or to Deputy Minister Matal, I don't remember, I don't know. But I'm not the author of that WhatsApp message because that's not my language.
Do you want me to read it to you?
Please.
Good afternoon, DM. Is that for Deputy Minister or for
Yes.
Deputy Minister Matale?
Yes. Deputy Minister.
Which one?
DM is Deputy Minister.
So it could be either Matale or Boshelo.
Yes.
Please note the following.
Please?
No, I'm reading, I'm back quoting you the WhatsApp. It says, please note the following. One, a source has indicated that CI, that's Crime Intelligence, has procured new spyware equipment to the value of 13 million rands over the past weekend. The equipment was sourced from China and did not follow the normal processes, e.g., minister needs to sign for anything more than 10 million. Then my suggestions that we should commit the National Commissioner to this. He needs to come out and say whether he knows about it or not. If not, he must investigate. If yes, why is the minister not informed? But then it goes on. Then it goes on to say, therefore, only a handful of individuals are privy to the details of the procurement and its usage. They include the current DivCom, the Secret Service account head, the supply chain head, and a tech specialist. It is believed that the usage of said equipment will be for political purposes, targeting ANC leadership. DM comments. DM should take note of the above and exercise vigilance with any type of electronic communication such as cell phones, emails, etc. Yeah, then it's cut off. What's it? No. Comrade Matabula has also been briefed. Please try to check. I'm not sure what is going on.
Now, I don't even know who's Comrade Matabula. And I don't talk the language of comrades, so Comrade Matabula or what, or the ANC. I'm not involved in politics. So this one, be rest assured, the chair and the House, I don't take responsibility for this message, and I actually deny it with the contempt it deserves. I at all, I don't associate myself in that type of writing, and I don't accept it at all. Total.
So now that as your electronic equipment being seized, you handed it over. It's been seized.
It was seized now, and then they're still waiting for this one that I'm having now, but I must still go and hand over.
You're still sitting.
Can we get closer to the microphone, Senior Counsel?
You're still sitting with your cell phone.
Yes.
So you must still hand that over.
And they're waiting for it. As soon as I land, they want it.
Okay. So you're pretty confident that this WhatsApp is not going to be downloaded?
They won't download it, not in me. But remember, this is crime intelligence. Anything is possible. But it's not my language, Chair. I'm not a comrade, and I don't know who Comrade Matabula is. And I've never circulated anything that speaks about to do this for that for the ANC. Just when you begin to talk about the comrade, and I spoke to Comrade so-and-so, and no, take me out of there. So I'm saying I reject it. Even if they can show it to me, I'll reject it.
Thank you, General Sibiya. Thank you for your patience and your cooperation and your stamina.
No, the last thing that I wanted to just confirm, Chair, may I say that I worked well with the National Commissioner. And when you look at my performance